All right, everyone. Today is actually one of the last things I'm going to be talking about. Some of the last things I'll be lecturing for the semester. Um, and what this is, in essence, are the theories of emotions. Now, earlier, before this, you should have watched kind of those two video clips that I'd posted on the Schoology page, and kind of compared and contrast the two. This right here is actually going to break down some of the theories as to where our emotions come from. Whether it be laughing at a joke, getting mad at someone, or getting afraid when you see a guy with a hockey mask and a bloody machete walking down the hallway. Just depends on kind of what the theory that you kind of most subscribe to. And now, with all these theories, one thing to kind of make a mention is these are not long drawn out things usually. These are split second actions that happen within our consciousness and even a bit within our unconscious as well. So, kind of keep that in mind because these things are instantaneous, for lack of a better term, or at least really, really quick. So the first theory was is the James Lang theory, proposed by a guy named James and another guy named Lang, and really kind of what their kind of theory of emotion stems from is this: one, you have the stimulus. So imagine you're walking down the road and you see a growling dog, and it's a big dog. It's a big brown dog that's growling at you. So you see that. What happens is that stimulus causes a physiological arousal. Raise your heart rate. That fight or flight stuff begins to kick in. And from there, you manifest the emotion fear. That's really what their theory is in a nutshell. The second is the Canon Bard theory, and kind of keep them the same thing. You walk down the road, you see a big growling dog. Now, what happens with this theory is you have a piece in your brain, in your thalamus. And what happens is the thalamus, that specific part of your brain, registers the threat of the dog. So from there, it does two things. One, it activates the physiological aspect of it, the fight or flight, you're raising heart rate, all that other good stuff. And then at the same time, it gives you kind of the accompanying emotion with it of fear. And so with the Cannon-Bard theory, both parts are actually controlled by the thalamus, recognizing a threat. The I'm not going to try to pronounce it. And Singer, I can't pronounce the first name. I've tried many times and I fail. What happens is, with this theory, is cognition defines what the appropriate emotion is. So, for example, you have the stimulus, the growling dog. Registering angry dog raises the fight or flight stuff, the physiological arousal. Your brain has a cognitive label for that emotion, or that situation. So it has a cognitive label for that situation. You see angry dog, your body reacts to that kind of stimulus. It registers the threat. Your brain puts a label. Ooh, this is scary. Boom, you have the emotion of fear. The cognitive appraisal theory, or sometimes called the Lazarus theory, because the guy's name was Lazarus. I've seen both, so I just put both. Pretty much the idea is this: you have the event, so that growling dog. Then you have the label that attaches to it. You see angry dog, you get two results from that. One, you have the physiological response, the heart rates, the adrenaline, and then you have the emotion that goes with it. So with this one, Pretty much the main idea is this. Both the emotion and the physiological reaction come from your labeling of that situation. And then you have the this other one. I can't pronounce the first one. Lada. For the second guy, though, pretty much their theory is this. Sometimes with some emotions, they're just automatic. There is no cognitive label that goes with that kind of situation. So they don't require an appraisal of that situation. It's just, you don't cognitively think about it. It's just instinct. Kind of like, if you remember back when with your spinal cord. Somebody comes up to you, you go to the doctor. You're sitting on the bench. The doctor comes up to you with a little hammer, whacks your kneecap or your knee, like right below your kneecap, and then your leg does that reaction. Um, Kind of the same thing with your emotions. You don't really think about why you have that certain emotion. It just comes to you. That's just, but yeah, so that's just the theory. And these are kind of the overall general theories. Um, if you're somebody who's watching this and you're in my psychology class, um, the after this is kind of um, a video clip of a comedian, Sebastian Maniscalco, my favorite comedian actually, and what is one of his little bits. What I want you to think about, because finding something funny, finding someone funny, finding a comedian funny, that's an emotion. Laughter comes from being happy, finding something funny, physiological response, ha ha ha. So what I want you to think about is this. Which theory would actually explain that phenomenon? Okay? And I gave you the clip so you can watch it and, actually kind of think about why you're reacting the way you're reacting. Granted, this is the number one way to kill funny things, but that's just how it goes. Anyway, I'll see you next time. Peace out.